Just a minute. You have to stick to your time. You have to finish before 20 minutes.
My introduction will be incomplete unless I mention my teachers, my guru, Dr. Subhash Ramare, Yogodoshi sir, and I'm a Tier Kaidik Mahavidyalaya student, so I'm very proud to be here to share my success stories in New Zealand. Today, this topic, I won't be going more details about fertility, theoretical information, because all of us, we are knowing everything about different fertility factors. Now, most important thing, whenever we say about fertility, it comes to the point, the diagnosis, and the percentage wise, various different factors are there. So first thing, we always analyze which factors are responsible. I take the most use of all the investigations available, and after the investigations, modern investigations, we correlate that with Ayurvedic theory, and this Ayurvedic theory and Ayurvedic medications definitely give success for sure. When it comes to the infertility, various different factors are involved, whether it is anatomical structural deformities or whether imbalances in the fertility factors due to the pathology. Various different pathologies will be involved, and these investigations, when they are available easily, I think all Ayurvedic doctors must use them to find out what is the cause factor, and then treat with our the Agni concept or dosha concepts, and definitely it gives a very good results. When it comes to the point where the obesity, the most women after the certain age, and due to the obesity factor, the infertility is something very important to see why this obesity causes disturbances in the hormones, and these hormones can lead to the polycystic ovary syndromes or that sort of thing. And that correlation with this I have done with the factors of Meghdhatu, Kapadhatu, channels blocking. So I have to be very simplification here will be the obesity pathology. The Ayurvedic pathology of obesity is very simple. More and more the Dhatu getting disturbed, so we get that excess Meghdhatu which obstructs the channels, and when this Meghdhatu obstructs the channels, Vata aggravation, and Vata aggravation creates the excess Jatra, and that excess Jatra leads to the more eating, Adhyashan, and that Adhyashan again creates ama and toxins. These toxins again block the channels. So this cycle is very important to see where this obesity is coming from, and I always correlate these factors with the liver Agnis. So when we say all the 40 Agnis, how they disturb our body's metabolism, and more the low metabolism is there, it creates various different disorders. And most important thing is the thyroid. Hypothyroidism is one of the most important factors. So initially I always try to find out if the obese person is coming to me with infertility, whether it is a 5 years history or 10 years history or 15 years history, I have to rule out the cause factor behind it, and then the treatment pattern starts. So today's this conversation I am focusing on Ayurvedic concepts using to achieve the success rate. Why I am getting so much success in infertility, that is what I am trying to share today instead of going into the depth of the infertility theoretical information. This is the way we always say that which channel, when we do the diagnosis, we find out which channels are blocked, what are the cause factors there, and then dosha, and accordingly treat the doshas and the dushyas. Most important factor when it comes to the fertility, and especially when it is an obese patient, it comes to the vata. And when vata is imbalanced, and if you look at this picture itself tells us how important it is to look at the channels. And whenever we see the vata aggravation, in this particular situation when obese patient comes to you. Uttar Basti is one of the very good treatment. I think it works fantastic. We can select whether it is a Bala Tailam or Shan Tailam, and Uttar Basti is something I will say anybody who's obese or if there's anything in the, like if there's a tubal pregnancy problems or something related with the channels, Uttar Basti works very good along with other internal medications. It is very important for us to change the complete lifestyle of the patient. If obese patient coming to us for infertility and we are just trying to treat the patient with medicines, it is never going to work. We have to start from the root to create a proper program which gives the patient to change the diet and lifestyle, lose the body weight, increase the body metabolism, and then break the pathology. The main pathology behind the obesity is low Dhattu Agni and high Jatra Agni. So where the low Dhattu Agni is coming from, where the excess fat tissues are getting accumulated in the body. So we have to change the complete diet and lifestyle. We have to increase. Normally what I do into my patients is I start them complete a proper program of 90 days. I'm talking about the women's first and then I will be talking about the men's infertility issues. So when it comes to the woman, it has to be a 90 days proper program, and immediately we have seen, especially in obese patients, all of you know that it starts with the irregular menstruations and that sort of thing. So when we start them increasing body metabolism, the first thing is if they are not getting menstruations for months and months, when we give them some programs, we start them treatments of Kapalbhati, simple Kapalbhati doing particular time in a day, and that many minutes, it works fantastic to induce the cycles, menstrual cycles. Once they start getting menstrual cycles, I'm talking about polycystic ovary syndrome. So that places the lifestyle changes and adding on certain yoga and pranayam along with medication gives fantastic results. Shukla Dhatu is something which comes at the end. We are talking about Sapta Dhatu, and Shukla Dhatu is the last Dhatu. So unless we change their dietary plan, what they eat, and then Rasa Rakta, Mouse Meat, Asti Majja, and we have to reach up to Shukla Dhatu. To achieve the results into Shukla Dhatu, we have to change their diet and lifestyle, and complete diet plan is given, what to eat, what not to eat from day one. And that's the way 90 days program starts. In Ayurveda, all of you know there is a shloka which mentions about obesity and Ashta Vikar, and there's one Vikar is the sexual disability. I always say Dhatu Agni is very important. When we treat the fertility patients, Dhatu Agni is very important. If you see this picture, itself tells us how important it is when we look at the ovulation. Ovulation and Dhatu Agni has a very close relation. Whenever we say the follicular stimulation or when we give the medication, here I will have to explain, give you a very good example of one of my patients. She was a senior most nurse in the hospital. I treated her only for 5 months and she was so intelligent. Every time, whenever she used to take medicines from me or do the changes in her diet and lifestyle, every monthly she used to do the blood test. And she used to find out her estrogen, progesterone levels. She used to track the follicular study along with Ayurvedic medicines. And it has given fantastic changes. And she used to email me the reports. Every monthly, whenever she used to listen, this was my estrogen levels, this was my progesterone, that all data is with my email since last 5 months, and the 5th month she got conceived, and now she delivered, last month she delivered the baby also. So this is one example of intellectual lady who knows she has the access to the medical department to do the blood test and ultrasound and to find out the ovulation study, and very good results with Ayurvedic diet, lifestyle and medications. When we say Kapha, Meda and Dhatu Agni, here in this picture I am just trying to say how important it is what we eat that we are. If we eat heavy substance, heavy food, and when we are talking about the low sperm counts or low motility, it is very important. If you are having any obese patient, I think many of you must be already knowing that if person is obese, his sperm count goes low, or his sexual performance goes down, or his motility of the sperm count is low, all because this example of kapha, meda, channel blocks, Dhatvagni, this whole theory we can correlate with the lazy sperm. So it is how important it is to change the diet and lifestyle for 90 days. Again, I have a full folder of the patients. 90 days before when they come to me, I straight away ask them for sperm count report. So before and after 90 days we do the sperm counts and gradually how the motility changes percentage wise or the count wise. But you have to follow minimum 90 days. Again, how I explain and convince them for 90 days, Sapta tissue. So you have to have patience to go from Rasa to the Shukla Dhatu, and they always, I try to correlate the Khale Kapota Nyay or Kshirodadi Nyay, so that these two, our methods which we have learned to reach up to Shukla Dhatu, whatever you are taking, whether it is medicine or dietary or lifestyle changes, you have to have patience for 90 days to see the results into your. It will be very good if you get the result straight away in the form of consummate. But if you have to do the pathological test, 90 days is very important to have patience. When we talk about Shukla Drushti, so Khale Kapot Nyay, Shirodadi Nyay is very, very important. Unless there is any congenital deformity, then you can always explain that looking at the various different anatomical structural deformities, then you can't help much. But if it is something to do with the diet and lifestyle, and if you get the histories, why this Shukla Drushti is there, definitely it makes more sense. Role of emotion is very important when it comes to the male infertility. And all of you know how it straight away works from the higher centers, from pituitary gland to the lower. So whether it is something happening with the hormonal level, then we have to see the stress factor. If you do not treat the stress factors, especially male infertility, there is no point. The stress is very important to look at because stress plays very big role even in the sexual performances. Ultimate solution is very important. Whenever you have done the diagnosis part, then comes to the ultimate solution. Use the best available investigation method. Being an Ayurvedic practitioner does not stop you to get all the available investigation available. So I always make sure every proper investigation situation is done and then treat the patient accordingly. So diagnosis is done, eliminate the root causes, whether they are coming from diet or lifestyle, and accordingly selection of the specific herbs again is very important. You cannot treat every patient with the same herbs. Every individual body, their diagnosis is different, and you have to have the permutation and combination of the herbs along with Panchakarma. In my 22 years of practice, half the time I have spent in allopathy, running behind the allopathy, and I used to run fertility centers allopathy way, and half the time I have done Ayurvedic. I will say I have seen more results with Ayurvedic treatments, and especially when there is a factor obesity, Panchakarma plays biggest role. Believe me, if you got any obese patient, if you can't give Panchakarma and patient is affording class, send them to India. And Panchakarma plays wonderful results, and those patients get excellent results. So I will definitely say Panchakarma to remove the excess meda, kapha, open up the channels and increase the fertility. Exercise plays biggest role in obesity, nothing much to say about it. Yoga plays biggest role, so it is very important to increase various different asanas into the program of that 90 days. Various different herbs are there, whether it is amla or whether it is triphala. Amla is proven for reducing the cholesterols. Then triphala and triphala again because it reduces the excess kapha. Meda, it works very good, and if you combine with triphala, Gurgul, Aragyavardhini, Chandraprabha, I am not here to mention which herbs, which products, but you have to have a proper selection. Then whether it is Ashwagandha, Shatavari, Guruchi again, Tridoshik, so one of the best herb, Guruchi, various different places we have to use it. Ashoka, Dashamula again plays best role. Without Dashamula, you can't treat fertility patients, especially if it is an obese patient, low sperm counts. Rajgula Bastis, excellent role. Bala plays very good role. Heaps of the herbs are there. I cannot specify because you have to select wisely permutation combination. Gugul Shilaji, where there is unique Lekan Karma, Gugul is very important. Garlic as an aphrodisiac, again it opens up the channels. Various different herbs are there. N number of herbs we are blessed with in Ayurvedic pharmacology, and I think we should use them wisely. Very good results. Those they are willing to help the society for fertility purpose, I would say Ayurvedic plays very big role. This is my personal experience in 22 years, and that's the best thing we can do to offer through Ayurveda. And again, all this information is definitely incomplete without I mention the research on the herbs from internet. So various different internet sources are there if you want to research on the different Ayurvedic herbs and how they work on individual body. Thank you very much.